Hey, Logan, one of your kids is on the loose again. Wade, I have a lot of kids. How do you know this one is mine? Well, she can be a very sweet girl, but if you do anything to piss her off, she'll tear you to shreds. Yep, she's mine. Welcome, fans and collectors. This is Marvel and DC 379 with another review, and today we'll be looking at Marvel Legends X-23 from the Sasquatch wave. Now let's take a look at the package. Build-A-Figure Sasquatch, ages 4 and up. Warning, choking hazard. There's Marvel Legends series. So here's the figure, and that really plain background. It is so dull. That's the issue with the Deadpool figure in the same wave. And here's the Build-A-Figure piece. It says Deadpool, I don't know why. Then there's the actual character name, X-23, Hasbro. Here's a side of that awesome badass artwork of Laura. And here it is again. And here's a quick bio. A female Wolverine clone. X-23 slashes out uncontrollably when exposed to a deadly trigger scent. So here's the figure in a great pose, and here's the rest of the wave. I already have Deadpool. I really need to get the rest. I still need to complete my other Build-A-Figures I have backlog. And here's the Build-A-Figure Sasquatch. All this good stuff. Okay, so that's about it. Let's get into the figure. And here is X-23 out of her packaging. And you notice that she's in her X-Force uniform. I've actually read plenty of X-Force comic books, and I've always liked them. They're different from other mutant superhero teams like the X-Men. And unlike the X-Men, the X-Force's methods are, well, unorthodox, and that's putting it lightly. And X-23 / Laura, the clone daughter of Wolverine, she didn't even start off in comic books. She started off from an early 2000s X-Men cartoon called X-Men Evolution. I actually grew up watching that cartoon. And well, this is an effect I like to call the Harley Quinn effect, a comic book character who didn't start off in comic books. And I named it after Harley Quinn. She is far from the first, but she is definitely the most famous case. Now, enough of that, let's begin. And as you can see, she's in her X-Force uniform, so it's mostly black and gray. And I know for some people that may be boring, it's not their tastes, and that's completely fine, that's subjective. But for me, I like it, especially it fits the X-Force. It's more of the practical, stealthy colors instead of the really flashy, colorful superhero colors. You see, it's mostly red and gray. There is a bit of silver at the belt buckle and a bit of red where you can see the X symbol. So it's not too bland if you're complaining about that. There's silver detail at her boots, and that's really nice sculpting on the straps right there and there. And I really like the painted lines across her top. Now for her head sculpt, this is possibly my favorite part of the figure. Her head sculpt. It looks fierce. She looks like she's snarling, she's angry, she's ready to pounce at you. She's just like her father. And the way her hair is sculpted is like, it's like being blown, so that would make very interesting displays. Her hair is mostly black with no highlights at all whatsoever. Some people would like that. For me, I'm fine with or without it. It's give or take. But the hair is nicely sculpted. There's so much detail you can see. I absolutely love the head sculpt on this figure. It's possibly one of my favorite head sculpts on any Marvel Legends figure. And her mask has the gray at the bridge of the mask and black, and you can see the red eyes, making her even more fierce. Now let's get into articulation. ball jointed head with a hinged neck, ball hinge shoulders, single hinge elbow, hinge swivel wrist, ball jointed torso. I don't think there's no waist swivel. It's not the end of the world though. Ball jointed legs, thigh swivel, double hinge knees, boot swivel, and hinged ankles. Really, really good articulation, especially for a character like X-23. Now, for accessories, she does come with the Sasquatch torso. And if I had to say any negative about this figure, it's that she lacks accessories. They're not necessary, but it would be nice if she had accessories. I mean, if you count her claws, but they're more integrated into the figure. And speaking of the claws, they look nice, they're separate pieces. I would love alternate hands without the claws, but some collectors would easily just pop off the claws since they're separately molded pieces. However, they would leave those ugly holes, so if you want to remove the claws on your own, that's completely up to you. And I think it would be cool if she had an alternate head with a different expression without the mask. But it's like what I said, I'm completely fine with the figure on her own. So that's about it. Let's get into size comparisons. And here is X-23 beside her father, Logan/Wolverine. And I did review this guy earlier back, I would say like 2 or 3 years ago. And the only negative thing I had to say about him is that his size. Wolverine is meant to be short unless this figure is meant to be Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine costume. And here is X-23 along with Wolverine from the Juggernaut wave. And this is much better in scale because this Wolverine is actually short, but not short to the point of being Yoda short, but still a bit short. Like, it would give a sense that he's 5 feet tall in action figure form at least. And here is X-23 with the Merc with the mouth, Deadpool. And they're from the same wave in the Sasquatch wave. And Deadpool is actually a member of the X-Force. There's actually a figure of him in the Sasquatch wave. It's just the 2016 Deadpool figure, but it's a recolor. Now, this Deadpool, you don't necessarily have to get him because he doesn't come with the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure piece. But of course, I did buy him because I wanted to, and well, I love Deadpool anyway. So my final thoughts? Well, the paint apps are nice and clean and crisp. The articulation is fantastic, and I absolutely love the head sculpt, which is my favorite part of the figure. Now, if you're looking for a particular X-23 action figure that's not the X-Force design, this isn't for you. And the lack of accessories is a turnoff. I love alternate hands without the claws, like modern Wolverine action figures, or an alternate head. But if you don't mind that, then this is definitely worth a pickup. Especially if you're a big X-Men fan, X-Force fan, or X-23 Laura fan. This is possibly the best Marvel Legends X-23 figure to date. So, this has been it for my review. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next. So until then, Excelsior, true believers. Young lady, you are not wearing that in public. That is way too revealing, and you will attract all kinds of attention, especially from Teen Mutant boys. Now put on the suit I made for you. You'll look just like your old man.